her in 4K with 4 dudes doing all the stuff that she telling you that she don't want to do no more. Okay, but you need to marry me.
That's pretty much Jason Black's perspective, you all. Now I'm going to take some calls. I'm going to bring you guys up one at a time. I do want to chop it up with y'all, see what y'all think. We have, what's up? Let me make you bigger.
What's up with you?
What's
Pause.
up? You
big is crazy.
Oh, I don't say Pat. Pause. I'm a girl. All right. What you think of this? Do you let me ask you the question of tonight. Would you settle after being abused for years, or would you encourage your new wife or your daughter to settle after experiencing what she claimed in these allegations?
I mean, both of them would definitely be on the line. We want the jail sentence and stuff like that, but you know, the civil compensation is it's not off the table. My daughter.
So a verdict, you would want you like, because that's what he was saying. Why wouldn't you get a verdict first? Because now basically he's saying she loses credibility because she went straight for only money. She didn't try to get any type of justice through the court system.
Well, women, I mean, what I think in their case, I think they both love each other. That's what I think. I think if she asked for, I think it was that she asked for 30 and he gave her 100. Something like that. I could see that. I think
I can see that.
Yeah,
I being like, sorry.
Yeah, like you know what I'm saying? He knew that shit wrong. You know what I'm saying?
But then why he didn't give it to her a long time ago? Because if the lawyer is saying she's been threatening to talk about this, or she's been asking, why didn't he give it to her a long time ago when he gave up that narcotic? Like Ike Turner did when he was in that car. He tried to bring them flowers, and she was like, go to hell, Ike. Why didn't he take that route? Less than, okay, let me just give you something just because I'm trying to prove to you that I'm different, if this is the case.
Because he's a piece of shit. And the thing when you keep getting away, I think a part of it, like you got a guy like him who drink, smoke, do all that. I think the thrill of getting away with it is a part of like the high. So if you feel like you're getting away with it, you know what I'm saying? Then you feel bad.
I think it builds the monster though, because look what R. Kelly did. He had a team of people around him. You think that gives you the high?
Yeah. Yeah. Like why that nigga that get caught stealing keep stealing? It's a high. Like getting away with it is fun. I got away with a lot of stuff. It's fun.
Yeah.
I get away. Yeah. That's fun.
Well, I will say this, just on the aspect of what he's saying. Why do you think that men don't really rush to defend or just speak up for something was wrong? Why do they always take the aspect of giving the man slack when y'all know, when y'all hang out with these men or things, like men are very predatory? I'm just saying in general, but there are a lot of men that are very predatory. So why is it that men rush to defend this or speak up as if the victim is not a victim?
Because we've seen a tremendous, I mean, you talking about real life, you talking about just Facebook, I mean, just YouTube.
In real life, no, not YouTube. In real life.
We've seen a lot of pump faking, where these chicks they get their sob sad story and they get something for nothing. You know what I mean? So you can't dismiss that. But I think in real life more guys listen than probably on YouTube. But if you talk about the story that, you know, Diddy had and all these guys are around and not doing nothing, I just think we've had too many situations where we get in people's business and somebody get the shit slapped out of them for trying to help, and then she go back with the nigga. I think we've heard that plenty of times. You know what I'm saying? It's a slap in your face when you think she actually gonna need help, and then they do this. They'll like her husband now. They'll tell you the sob story. Y'all be cool for a while. Oh, he be hitting me, he be beating me. I'm gonna go up and I'm gonna say something as a guy you telling something to. We get in an altercation and you still fucking a nigga. Like that, you know what I mean? Like we've seen too many situations like that, and I think guys are just tired of it. A lot of pump faking. We got a lot of nigga. If you don't come in this motherfucking house, I'm gonna tell so and so that you hit me and you grape me and all this different shit. So it's a lot of different experiences like that. So I think men don't mean to be as insensitive as we're seeing with these situations, even with the brick girl. But we've seen a lot of shit. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of younger guys look at that situation like, yeah, nigga, I ain't never gonna do that. And then you just people just men will start to turn a blind eye to it. Like, yeah, fuck that shit. She going to prove it.
Yeah, I think it's interesting that you said on YouTube, because even just in YouTube, if you know, people violate for content and stuff that I'm learning, even me, you know, from experience. But as soon as you like, you know what, let me just get to the piece, like whatever conversation you need to have, I just want to squash it. They're like, oh no, you shouldn't do that because these people don't believe you. But in real life, they don't believe you anyway.
Indeed.
So you should always look for justice or whatever sense of peace. And that's how I feel with her. Like going through all of that, like she may have to relive all that over. It may, you know what I'm saying? It's just kind of like, as I suppressed it, or I may not want my kids to hear all the details, but he gonna make sure me and my kids are straight from what you did. I just don't think that to dismiss that. I think a lot of people just mad that she had that leverage to get 100 mil just off of in 24 hours.
100 M's is a lot.
She should have shot that gun a long time ago.
Should have been there. If you gonna get 100 million.
Yeah, I would have sent the flare. Hey, Diddy, if you want me telling you a booty bandit, it should have came with a picture and everything. She should have leaked, you know what I'm saying? She should have had her homegirls or different people leaking little details about it. Let me read this really quick. What's up, Freezy?
Shout out to Freezy.
All right, just my 4 cents. Thank you for the super chat. He said Cassie's husband is blackballed for sleeping with someone's girlfriend while hired to train. He has a bone to pick with Diddy. Okay, let's say all of that's true. That's true. Are we pointing that out to dismiss what he did, or are we just adding all of that to the story? Because then I can understand that. But thank you for the super chat, because that is a good thing. Because if you were just a trainer or was he blackballed because he was trying to help her during the process? A lot of stuff can happen. But do you have any more thoughts? Bring up some. I don't really want to do it.
I genuinely think that they had some type of BDSM kink relationship. I think she was in it way more than people think she was into it way more than people think she was into it.
Under the influence.
I think that's a part of that culture. Be under the influence. I really do.
So you're entertaining the idea that maybe she was in on it, or she was under the influence doing these things that she's not happy about. But now she's reflecting like, I was doing that because he was making me on drugs. You think it's like that?
Yeah, I think it's a finesse. But I do think she was abused. I think she was abused because he's I've been heard. We all have been hearing stories about him for a long time. I don't think
absolutely. And this stuff like over with Pac's situation.
Yeah, he's a piece of shit, and I really think he abused that girl. I really do. I think
exactly.
I forgot she existed. I ain't gonna say, but I do think she's into that. Like she's that type of. She look like she that type of girl. That's
okay. Well, this before your final thought. Okay, so let me just say this.
Okay.
When little young girls or boys, when y'all are touched by an older woman, y'all are still into a certain level of hypersexuality.
Yes.
That plays into it. Certain type of trauma. And he got her when she was 19. I'm sure he introduced her to a lot of shit that she didn't like. It's just like it was a movie where it was supposed to bring awareness to boys being violated. And what they did was they had other people pin him down and somebody give him fellatio. Now, because he actually got off, it was like, oh, you must like it. But no, there's just certain, your body's going to respond to something, but that doesn't mean that is not what happened. So I like that you said that, but she probably had to be coerced into liking it because that was something that she had to learn to like because she was in this lifestyle. You see what I'm saying?
I'm gonna say yes to the coerce because it's him. To be honest with you, but I think I do agree with you that he was like, "This is how I am. You gotta if you with me, this is what you're gonna have to do." I agree to that. I think that's definitely the position, but it's clear she enjoyed it. She could get anybody now. He wasn't the only lit nigga in the world.
Cassie is innocent until he.
No, I agree that she's innocent. I don't think she's. I'm just saying. I think she's more into it. I don't think she's definitely a victim in this situation. I definitely think he beat the shit out of her, and probably worse.
Yeah.
But I think she's got some paybacks, putting a strap on his ass a couple of times. You know what I'm saying?
Pay me for my pain.
Ain't that something?
All right, I'll bring you down and bring up. I like that. Oh, hi, Jay Prince. Let me read this super chat first.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, just my 4 cents for the $5 super chat. He said, "Do y'all think Cassie would ever tell her husband she enjoyed he means being in bed with 3 men, or tell him she was forced to protect his ego. No, I don't think she would ever say that. I don't think no woman would ever. It's just like when y'all gotta go through her phone and you realize she's searching for gangbang. She'll never tell you that. I think that is a good nuance, but I don't think it had anything to do with going after money, because who knew before she said anything? Unless he witnessed it. Like, she didn't have to tell him that. You know what I'm saying? But thank y'all for the super chat.
This rich bitch is poor.
All right. What's up, Jay Prince? What do you want to add? Now, let me first ask you the question of tonight. Is, would you settle after being abused for years, or would you encourage your daughters to settle after being abused for years?
I would say, if you've been abused for years, you're not innocent nor you're a victim. It's clearly that's what you like. If she been dealing with this stuff for she would be a victim if he did it 1, maybe 2 times, and she reported it. Then that's a victim. You can't be with a man for 10 years. Let's just say a woman say, "Oh, he been raping me for 10 years." Bitch, no, at that point, no, it's not grape no more. You mean to tell me you couldn't prevent this man from raping you for that long period of time? You didn't want to go to the authorities at all? Like, at that point, you was no longer a victim. You was no longer innocent. I don't see her being innocent at all. And when you think about abuse, she's the type of woman that make it hard for a lot of women to be believed. You know what I'm saying? I do think it's a finesse out of some money she got tired of or whatever. I think women know, all women know at the end of the day, especially with a nigga like Diddy or a man of that caliber. When they get ready to break up, they do multiple things to get money out of them. They divorce them, get money. They pull out the little abuse card to get their way. All of those cards is just nothing but manipulation. If she really felt, if she was really that sentimental about it and that hurt about it, why she take that check then?
Oh, but I'm gonna respond. We're gonna have a good conversation. But shout out to Illa for the super chat. It says, "Peace, Lucky, keep it up." I will, y'all. Y'all gonna see me more often. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm the most inconsistent. Jay Prince was on my head. What was this? Lucky, if you don't stop posting the video every couple weeks. Yeah, I'm sorry. So look, back to it. And hi, Pink. Thank you for being here. She's so pretty. Pink? But so you're based, okay, so your daughter comes to you, she's been in this relationship that she's been scared to tell you about, because a lot of times people are scared to say something. They don't want something to happen to that person. They know that my daddy gonna off him, right? She says, "You know what, Dad, my husband has been raping me for the past 2 years. Matter of fact, he likes to do things like choke me until I pass out. He likes to do those type of things, but I am in a situation where I don't know where to go. He also takes care of you," right? We're talking about Diddy. He probably was paying your bills around a lot of people. And she's in a situation where she keeps being coerced back into the situation. Or every time she tries to leave, like move on, he's blowing up her new man's car. He's doing all kind of crazy stuff that says, if it ain't me, it's nobody, right? She comes and tells you this has been happening. You're saying, "Oh, that's bull crap," because why would he continue to do this? Or are you just kind of like, are you believing her? Or are you telling her that this did not happen?
Let's just say if it did happen, like, it seems like when it comes to women, it's so easy for women to get rid of a man that's a good father, a church going man, a man that's working 16 hours, but she complaining that he's always gone. They find it very easy. Even a man that want to be in his kid's life, it's so easy for them to get rid of them. But when it comes to these abusive men, yeah, they do call 911. My sister used to always call 911, but at the same time, they don't follow up in court. So without the witness, the case get thrown out. Because at the end of the day, they always say within a couple of weeks of them being mad at that man, once they calm down, they get to start saying, "Well, it's just not his fault. It's my fault too. I did this." And next thing you know, like, my sisters done put me through this shit for so long, to the point where now when they call me complain whatever they man did, I say, "Well, my sister, I did a video. My sister just called me, and he was in the background and said, "Well, why would you want to? If you're gonna start all this drama, bring all your brothers them in this, why would you call? You came and got me. You came and got me." And when he was saying that, I said, "He right." Even though he doing some fucked up shit allegedly to the kids, like, like talking shit to the kids and all that. I said, at that point, he ain't the problem. It's you the problem. So if anybody should be going to jail, it's you. You know what I'm saying? Or you know what I'm saying? So
you're saying like, okay, because you believe he's doing these things to her, right? But if you
I don't know, I wasn't there.
Okay, so but basically you're saying if you keep saying, you must like it.
Yeah, you can't always fault the person of who they are. It's you got to fault the people who choose it. Like, I can't fault my lifestyle because I chose my lifestyle. My lifestyle is my lifestyle. It's the lifestyle of his own. It's up to the person to like. Let's say if I want to be a criminal and I want to live a criminal lifestyle. Well, a criminal lifestyle has its own definition, and it opens the doors for you. Now, if you walk in that door, you can't blame the criminal lifestyle for being criminal lifestyle. You got to blame the person that enters that lifestyle, that chose that road.
So okay, so let me just say this. So to be a victim, are you saying you can first start off as a victim, but if you still allow yourself to be victimized, you're no longer a victim just because your response is not what the majority think your response should be?
Yeah, because when I think of a victim, if somebody doing something to me, I'm gonna try to I'm gonna get away from around and do anything is possible to get away from around it. I'm not gonna go back. I'm not gonna continue going back. But I love it though. Man, this person been sticking guns, shooting at me. She done shot me a couple of times. But I love her though. Get the fuck out of here. Excuse my language. But at that point, well, you can no longer blame the villain. This is what you chose. This is what you like. Like when they talk about women with these daddies, these deadbeat daddies. Come on, let's be for real. You didn't want the dudes that would have been a potential good father, still would have been there. You didn't choose that. You chose all the niggas with the characteristics of the players. Ladies, man, you chose these women gave, like my daddy got 14 kids by multiple women. My mama gave him 3 more kids, knowing damn well he had 7, 10, all these other kids. And he wasn't, he was a truck driver at that point, but he didn't. When you seen him, you didn't see him with all his kids.
Okay, so wait, pause there, because you did just say you must like it. So what makes you conclude that somebody likes it versus saying that this person is scared to leave? Something is going on where they're scared to leave. Why does it go to they like it instead of them entertaining the idea that they could be scared to leave?
Ain't nobody scared to leave. They know for a fact there's systems in place that if they really call the police.
Hold on. Let's argue. You think Diddy, who got the pulling from law enforcement, from the judge, the jury, we're saying, I'm saying if he got pulled like that, he probably should have went to trial, right? But let's say we're saying a person that's powerful, that she's saying, all these people that are saying he did these things, you're saying that wasn't enough for her to be scared, like the law would be on her side for sexual assault, especially because she waited. Go ahead.
If that was the case, if he had all this pulling power, why she do it now?
Okay. So are you under the idea that a victim has to show themselves to be a victim in what kind of ways? And if so, what would you say if you're with a guy who's doing this? What would you recommend a woman to do? Like, how soon would you say she has a window to be a victim? And then what would you say the proper response is if it's not going after his money?
I would say the first time. Like, it should never be no years of endurance, and then when you just get tired of it, or he get tired of you, now you want to just come up with all this stuff. No, after so long, you is no longer a victim. I do not look at you like victim. If you stuck in, I would feel sorry for you as a victim. Like If a woman, if I get with you and I put my hands on you and you left me at that first time, yeah, you would be a victim and I deserve whatever coming to me. But if you still there 5, 10 years, no, you is not a victim. You attract at that point, I'm gonna look at you like this is who you is. Because if you not like this, you won't want this type of stuff around you. I'm not gonna eat shit, constantly eat shit, knowing damn well I don't like it, but yet I'm keep eating it.
Well, if you're on drugs, I mean, what can you say you'll do if somebody is doping you up and keeping you on drugs? You know what I'm saying? We're judging from a right mind perspective. I've never been doped up on cocaine, heroin, or none of that other Hollywood popularity stuff. So I'm judging from my right mind, right? And to be honest, the person like Diddy, you violate me, I'm coming for your bag the first time. The first time, I want you in jail. He did this to me, and I want your money, right? So, but also I can't dismiss other situations as to why they have a Me Too movement. We talking about Hollywood, where we can't reference like people like I can say I know who they went back to this person, because the person I know that went back, that's a whole other mental situation. Most of the time they're mutually violent from the people that I know. But if we're talking about Hollywood and people who constantly dangle things in your face, such as a career you want bad, such as fame and things that you want badly, that comes with a price that some people are willing to pay. I don't think that means that they like it. I don't think that means that they're not a victim. I just think that look what we see on YouTube, people willing to do for views and likes. You mean to tell me if I get something in your flash something in your face that's gonna take care of your family, your kids, ever set them up for life, but I just gotta violate your booty hole? You think
well, that's what you get when you sign a deal with the devil. Some people, like a lot of these women, is so money driven to where they can be bought. Like, well, let's be for real. A lot of times women can be bought because they don't stand on principle. They don't have nothing that they stand on. So a lot of times they be so materialistic and so clout driven to be with Diddy. You know how many women want to take them, use those same drugs, get beaten by that same man, and willing to deal with all that. I'd rather cry in the Mercedes Benz. You know, they it's women out there waiting, can't wait till P. Diddy throw out Cassidy, and watch how many women gonna be in his inbox. Do you so after knowing this, what he did so allegedly did to her? Do you think it's gonna be like women gonna stop fucking with P. Diddy and not gonna want to be with him after even knowing all of this?
I mean, look what R. Kelly, he had a whole video of peeing on a girl that we seen that came out on bootleg. Okay, and then everybody had the bootleg and they still messed with him after the fact. And
I peed on a girl, like she peed on me. People do that.
Was she 14?
Okay, well, no. What I'm saying is, just knowing for a fact that you cannot honestly say, after all this stuff been aired out, that women not gonna want to fuck with him no more.
No, that's what I believe you. I think it's because it's the power. It's people are willing to do a lot of things for fame. That is a different monster. But I'm not going to say that. Let's say I sign up. Okay.
So what makes you think she didn't want to do it for that?
But this is the thing. That's what I'm about to say. Let's say I signed up for if I said, okay, I don't want to do it. Okay, but I'll sleep with these. What was the thing? Let's just say I sleep with these 4 men, right? I'm gonna sleep with these 4 men and do this. Then you realize this is 4 men every day. You agreed to one time, and then it's okay. That doesn't mean that after the fact that this is not happening. You know what I'm saying? But I get what y'all are saying is when you say you think she was complicit, and when it didn't serve her purpose legal, when it came to her music, she like, oh hell no, you trying to give everybody back their rights, and I only got one song out of you. Meanwhile, you had me out here doing all this crazy shit. No, I want what's owed to me. But I think we're dismissing the fact that how she became a victim. I think that if, let's say, you were okay with one thing and then somebody is abusing that all the time, are we saying because you agreed to it one time you're not a victim? You just don't like the response? Because there's a lady who is a porn star who stated that she agreed to anal sex, right? And this was her first time doing an anal scene and all the type of stuff. And this guy that she was doing the scene with was like, oh, you know, it's okay, it's your first time. And he made sure when he did it on the scene, she passed out. Now he kept sleeping with her as she was passed out. one might say she wasn't victimized because she agreed to do the scene. But if I didn't agree to be passed out, if I didn't agree to other things that were included, I think you definitely are a victim. It's just like if somebody comes to your house and you sleep with her, and in the midst of you got your penis in there, if she no longer wants to be having sex with you, and you keep violating, you keep having sex, well, you agreed to it already. That's like saying you can't forfeit what you agreed to in the beginning.
No, that was stand, but the problem with these women is they don't want to let that clout go. They don't want to let that money go. Their opportunity. You see, the reason why she kept engaging, because when you talking about years, you talking about what you referencing is the beginning stage, the first few times. Then yeah, but when you don't put years in this, I don't want to hear that victim stuff from years, talking about you abused for years. No, you didn't want to let that clout go. You wanted to be with Diddy in his popularity, and you thought and you gained off his popularity, and you was thinking that if Diddy left, everything else gonna leave with you. So you stood there and you took it. And then if you participate in this act, like to say, when you keep saying, if you keep doing it, like, you can still say no. Why? If she said no,
but she was running away, and I bring you up, Eugene. Thank you. My thing is, she was saying no. She was trying to run away. If this person, it feels like you're his property, like,
so he was graping her.
Have you? Yeah, or he was paying other people to do it. Yes.
No, what I'm saying is, so she didn't have no opportunity to go to the police of actually, because the way you word it now, it sounds like she would have been great. And if that was the case,
yes,
it shouldn't be no amount of money in the world. It shouldn't have been no amount of money in the world to make you not charge this man with grape through years of being grape, meaning that this man been graping you, and all he had to do was offer you some money, and now you don't want to.
Let's be clear. Let's be clear. He didn't offer it. She put it on blast, and she put it on blast, and he settled. If he was so called, okay, so if he's saying shout out to Cassie for being there during my dark days, he's subtly acknowledging stuff and also aware that she really could come after him for something. But let's just entertain what you're saying. So you're saying basically in this moment, because there was no police report, there was not all this type of stuff, that these things didn't happen to her, yes or no? Or it's questionable?
No, what I'm saying is, if it did happen to her, I think she was a participant, a willing participant, because when I think of a victim, I think of somebody graping this person. She trying to get away, and she gonna report it. She gonna try to get this man in jail instantly. She's not gonna be been with this man for 2, 3, 4, 5 years. If these people,
11.
if he had all of these men doing all this stuff to her, you mean to tell me she didn't have no private phone, never had a chance to, okay, what about all the time she wasn't around him? Why she didn't go to the police?
Okay, let me ask you a question, right? Let's pivot.
She was a participant.
Okay, let's pivot on the same logic, because when he met her, he was 37, she was 19. So can we arguably say right here, before I bring someone else, let's just arguably say, the men that refuse to go to court to fight for custody for their kids, are we saying that they just don't want to be in their kids' life because they don't want to deal with the system?
I think that's a different scenario. I think when it comes to that scenario, the history of men been going to court deterred a lot of men, and from like history with our uncles, our granddaddies, our dads, our cousins, them been going to court and trying to fight for their kids, and they kept losing. Then on top of that, you hear, like, I live in a woman state, all this other type of stuff. It's almost like then when you hear men that say, man, I came out of $10,000 for a lawyer, and the only thing I got was a day. So that kind of like teach us, like, man, fuck it. Like, what's the point of going to court?
Perspective, but I would say this.
You have muted for a little bit.
Oh, sorry. I said I understand your perspective, but look into this. Look at the history of women who actually speak out to being violated, and tell me how often do those women get justice? It's not often. Not legally. It's not often. And
I think they don't.
But just so if we making that an argument, we can say, oh, y'all not really trying to be in y'all kids' life because y'all don't go to court. You're lying. She ain't do this. You ain't do this to court. But y'all say that's not the case because we don't understand. So it's really the same thing when it comes to women being violated. Talking about 19-year-old meeting a 37-year-old Diddy, not a regular Joe.
That's not a regular.
Somebody who has the keys to change her life. And so I am on this and I'm looking like, okay, is this the world? And if you're meeting other celebrities that are in this lifestyle and they're saying this is normal, they're also grooming you or they've been groomed. So you start to, okay, you got to think all the way back into Hollywood with Marilyn Monroe. When you think of Dorothy Dandridge, all these people in Hollywood, they definitely had to do a lot of things with their bodies or whatever just to get seen. I don't think that means that they weren't violated.
So why they didn't drop out of it?
What you mean?
They had a choice.
They did.
If they had to do all of this stuff with their bodies in Hollywood and stuff, how come they continue to go on? Why they just didn't quit? If you know Hollywood is just these sick people, why continue? See, one thing about me, Lucky, the beauty thing about me is been raised around women. So by me being raised around women, I know all the little secrets. I know all the little high fiving when they done got them a win and got everybody to believe that their manipulation. They talks about it. I got sisters, I got aunties who brag, cousins who brag. That's the beauty thing about being raised around women. I know all of the little games and the little cons that they come up with to achieve something. So for the reason why I got my perspective is because I know how women operate because I was raised around them for 38 years. I know the fake victimization. I know when to get their way. My cousin just got done doing it to me today, crying, and that's I sent her $40, and that's she'll tell you a bunch of stories every time you go around, and she get to start crying, and that's you walk out of the house broke. She do this. This is her game. This is her MO. This is who she is. So I truly believe that you remove the victim state when you don't do nothing about it the first time, maybe the second, but that first time, if you stand there all this time, you can't claim victim to me no more. If somebody been punching you, Lucky, punching you for years, yeah, it sounds messed up to everybody, but then you gotta also think too what we don't pay attention to. A lot of women will stay with a man that's been abusing them for 5 years. Let's give it say, leave him and get with another man who do the same stuff. So at that point, it's like these women got all these baby daddies, these deadbeat baby daddies. At that point, it's not the dudes, it's the woman itself. She attracted who she really is deeply inside. What you say about that?
I disagree, but
why do you disagree?
Because I just think that's
because you're a woman. You disagree.
No, I just think that to be a victim of things that are so delicate, I think for people to try to dissect how you're a victim is disheartening. I can understand that you have a point, but it's disheartening, and it just makes sense why somebody would shoot for the gusto instead of legally, because to be ridiculed or to be a victim, but you're on trial like you are a suspect to your own crime, I don't think that it's a good thing. It's just like what happened with Trayvon Martin. To question that girl who's seen this or who's just emotionally invested, they judge a lot of things and say, oh, if he was like this, it shouldn't have. Like, we judge things that are supposed to be perfect. It's just like a person could do something to me, and just because it took me 5-10 years to blow his head off, that means that did not happen. And I think that just goes to show you, just like the cases where those women are sex trafficked and they murder the person that actually trafficked them, but they were being trafficked for years and they finally got the courage to do something about it. Now they're in prison for something. So I think that it's just disheartening that that's the reality. But
do you think black boys is victims? So I could claim to be.
I gotta bring up other people, by the way, too.
Okay, one more thing. I should be able to claim victim because everybody told me, Jay Prince, stop claiming. Women told me stop being a victim. Even though I brought up all of the shit that black women have said, mentally abused me, emotionally abused me, physically abused me, I'm a victim, right?
You are.
So where's my due compensation for this?
Well, so, I mean, are you going after them to get it, or you just?
I will. I didn't know I could sue them.
You could.
I would sue the shit out of my aunties, my sisters, my female cousins, everybody gonna have to pay.
So I'm bringing you down. Thank you, JP.
All right, Lucky.
Hi, Eugene. The question
Hi,
of
Lucky. Hey.
how are you? Look good. So the question of tonight: would you settle after being abused for years, or would you encourage your daughter or someone to settle?
I would encourage the latter. And let me tell you why. You go through all this hell for so many years. It doesn't make any sense at all. And he's supposed to be your boyfriend. Your boyfriend. He did all this to you. And then he had you passed around all to his buddies. It's sick to me. I'm sorry. So I would tell my daughter, get this man locked up. Tell the police about what had happened. But here's the thing, though. You know, you ask the question, why did she allow all this to happen? At first, I was thinking, maybe she likes the lifestyle or something to that matter. But then there's something else. You know, Diddy is a very powerful man. And he could have, connections to a lot of people who could really do harm to her or to the people she is close to. And he probably threatened her, with doing such harm. I think that's why she kept quiet all this
Absolutely.
time.
And other people, he paid other people that were like CIA type people, were just serious people that came to track her down when she thought she was leaving and do things to scare her back into his arms. Mm-hmm.
That sounds like some mafia stuff right here. You know? I was watching another content creator. She talked about this case. And, she asked the question, do you think young Miami might be going through the same things that Cassie went through? Because there was one thing she mentioned. She mentioned about the white fingernails, right?
Mm-hmm.
Cassie was wearing white fingernails, had her fingernails painted white. The woman before, what was the name?
The Kim Porter.
Yeah, Porter had her nails painted white, and Young Miami had her nails painted white as well. So I was thinking to myself, is this an edge that Diddy has, or is this a way to brand his women? Just like
I think if you are Diddy and you got some money, and I want my women on the slew to be represented a certain way, I think I would have them represented a certain way. I want your nails to be white. I want your hair to be no crazy color hair. I want you to. It's like kind of like and I'm not gonna compare them to because I love Kanye West, but it's just like when Kanye West wanted Kim to be dressed a certain way. You know what I'm saying? I think that could have been the case with that situation. But as far as with Young Miami, she did say something. Arguing with his baby mother recently, I think last year, when she said, hey, like, girl, you would eat her. If I wanted you to eat my pussy, Diddy would have made you do it. So she alluded to some, like, she knows some stuff is going on, but I honestly also heard a rumor, allegedly, she's his cover up because he's really sleeping with her friend Saucy Santana, who's a gay man, allegedly.
Wow,
the plot thickens. Okay.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, it sounds like something you hear in a mafia movie.
Yeah. I think
those
if we
guys,
got a documentary on Diddy, we would get some really good. That lawsuit and what's in there, that'd be a really good docu-series, and I would love to see it.
Yeah, it would be. Yeah, it would be great. And I'm also by making that settlement, do you think Diddy would have avoided being registered in the ex-offenders list?
Oh yes, heck yes. Heck
Wow.
I would avoid that at all costs because it don't take much for you to get on there in the first place. But yes, I think he would have avoided any type of humiliation, any type of truth. Especially look at it like this: what if Diddy is at a different place mentally now, right? Where
Mhm.
I don't even want my kids to know how dark I was, right? Because he said during the dark times, I don't know what he do today, but it's one of those things where all those demons can follow you, even if you found Jesus today. Now you have to be accountable for all your sins. So that's also the downside about it. And kind of like what World Class said, he could have just gave her more than double what she was asking for because he may feel guilty and he do love her in his own sick way,
So wait a minute.
Ability.
She asked for the settlement.
Well, she was coming after him for $30 million. And then within 24 hours, he settled. And it said that he settled giving her $100 million. So, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's something to really think about because, I mean, I could not think of a woman who has been victimized for so many years
Mm-hmm.
for, to get a settlement for money, which means something else might be going on here. I don't know. Maybe again, the biggest thing might be that, because Diddy's so powerful, he might threaten her with something if she says anything about the experience or what have you, or do anything to put him in jail, because again, he might have connections to some people.
Oh, he do. He's Diddy. He's a billionaire. But yeah, I do appreciate you calling up. You guys, I'm going to close the phone lines. We're going to end with Eugene because he had the best opinion. Jay Prince, I don't know what you were on. Just kidding. But I will see you around. Thank you for coming up, Dr. Steele.
Thank you for inviting me up.
Of course. Okay. All right, y'all. Thank you guys for joining in. I'll just read a few things here. What's up, Poppy? Here. He said, how is everyone doing on this cold Sunday? It is not that cold here. And what is fantasy? World Class. Okay, I will give you the benefit. I guess she's responding to World Class. But shout out to y'all. Thank you guys for coming and stopping by. And just know,
I knew your dad for a long time. He did that shit. You're guilty as fuck.
Guilty as fuck. Okay. Bye, y'all. Thank y'all for watching.